absolutely. Well, so people may not recognize your name, but they definitely recognize your voice. I mean, looking over, all the work that you are doing or have done, you are just have such an extensive resume going on. So can you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Yeah. Right now I'm just sort of, preaching to the world about this movie Daddy Issues that just came out, and I play the titular role of Daddy, and it's a bit of a love triangle, and it's about an estranged relationship between a father and his daughter, and I guess the daddy issues that we all have. So it's a little bit about betrayed love. It's a little bit about estranged relationships and how those estranged relationships manifest themselves. It's a beautiful film, and we were thankful enough to be in, I guess, about 30 festivals worldwide. Just got distribution, so now the world can see it. It's just streaming right now, so it just came out a couple weeks ago, and we're pretty proud of it.
It's definitely gaining a lot of attention now. You're very, very deep, very interesting role as the sugar daddy, and the relationships that you have with all the characters. But it's a little bit different, obviously, than you as you, Andrew. Now, how did you actually, how did you prepare for a role like this?
Well, the particular character, he's very OCD. He's, like a lot of, I would imagine, sugar daddies are, not one myself, but have a sense of control and of power. And, so control and power and OCD is not something that I, actually express too much in my own life. But, with any role, you tap into that which is already you, and you just kind of crank up the emotional volume. So if you're obsessive about how you clean the kitchen, then you just really clean the kitchen. If you're obsessive about being in touch with friends of yours, then just imagine, take your mind to the place where you'd be calling them 20 times in a day. So it's finding, like any role, you sort of find that which is in yourself that's similar to the character, and then you just crank it. And that was the case here. This is a man who doesn't have love in his life, and so he reaches out and he tries to essentially control love because it was something that he never had in his own life. So you look to those things. What can I not control? I can't control the traffic. I can't control, the price of food. I can't control that. So you try to take your mind to the place where you get wildly upset about these little things in life and let them get to you, and just don't shield yourself from those emotions. That's true of, that was certainly true of this role, and, pretty much all roles.
Gotcha. Well, and it's a little bit of a provocative movie if someone views it that way, of course, but you also have something else kind of provocative going on. You're in a musical. Yes. About the NRA.
It's called More Guns, the NRA musical, and it's about as provocative as you can get into obviously a very hot button issue. And, like Donald O'Connor said in Singing in the Rain, make them laugh if you have something to say. And we do. It's easily, thankfully I've been fortunate enough to do musicals for probably the last 20 years. And it's easily one of the best musicals I've ever been in. Both the narrative, it's bringing across a certain idea about gun control, about just, not abolishing it, but just sensible gun control. But it does it in a very non-preachy way. When you never want to go to a show or, somebody talking or whatnot and have them sort of bang you over the head with an issue. And that's one of the best things about this show, that it does it with amazing music, really hummable tunes, and it brings across a message without being preachy. We've just gotten in another extension to end of August, so thankfully audiences have really warmed up to it. It's an incredible show.
Fantastic. Well, and then we're going to go into another provocative genre. You've done a lot of voiceovers for video games. And which video game would you say has been your most challenging to lend your voice to?
I would say early on I did The Godfather, Electronic Arts. I did that the very first iteration of the Godfather video game series. And that was, it's just when you're just regularly performing, you're connected to the work. You're there, you're in the space. But the nature of video capture is that you're absolutely disconnected from the work. So it's hard to actually sort of throw your body into it when you're dissociated physically from the final role. It looks amazing. Their graphics are incredible. But I think the most challenging part of it is not, the aggression and the force that you throw yourself into, which is, necessitated by a video game, but the lack of sort of a tactile connection to the role. And I'm sure, anybody who's working on a green screen who's trying to make love to a tennis ball in front of them, probably feels the same thing.
Right.
Making love to a tennis ball I'm pretty sure is going to be the title of my autobiography. So you've got that exclusive right now. You're welcome.
Thank you. I'm going to be laughing about that all day, and
That's
I'm
right.
very happy to have a dog that I'll be staring at tennis
Oh,
balls with, because that might be awkward. Yeah,
that's right. So that's happening, and then more recently, what's actually just about to come out, which wasn't a stress at all, but just tons of fun, was coming out in about a month. Is Madden 20.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and really exciting. And that was actually as much as doing a video game is an incredibly structured exercise because of with the very nature of the choices that the player gets. It has to be just a very specific paradigm of how do we shoot this and what are our options. And we have to do a number of, in the tree of choices that any given player gets, they have to film and record and design every single one of them. So I wasn't really expecting much play or much room to play, which is fine. That's sort of what you sort of know what's coming up. But with this, I played sort of a loudmouth sports agent. And just a lot of room to play, a lot of room to improvise. And I mean, the technology's to the point where it can actually flow almost seamlessly with the performance. That it used to be called motion capture. Now I think they call it performance capture. It's a bit of branding, but still it actually comes closer to what the technology can muster. So that's, pretty excited for that to come out. And I think the trailer just dropped like a week or 2 weeks ago for that.
Oh, very cool. That had to be a lot of fun.
So much fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to go back a little bit ways. Back
Sure.
to Tank Overhaul. And you narrated it. Did you narrate it from 2007 through 2009?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
You probably have the dates in front of you, but yeah, that sounds about right.
I have a sofa in front of me, so I'm kind of winging it here a little bit.
Gotcha.
But as far as, narration goes, were you ever any more a part of the show than just lending your voice? Were you able to have any hands-on, experience with it?
No, I mean, I just seeing the graphics at like seeing these, hobbyists, hundreds of thousands to, $1 million hobbyists who are putting these tanks together. I would have loved to have been, there in England, in Germany, in, all these places.
Yeah.
Would have for that particular project. No, I just lent my voice. But years before that, I lived in Israel for about a year, and it was by no means play, and that's by no means a hobby. Like that's real life situations where real lives are on the line every single day, so you never take it lightly. But it was nice to have a visceral connection to that, and to know the weight, the emotional weight that's carried along with this with these incredible hobbies.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, do you have any other projects in the works coming up outside of the musical, obviously?
I mean, just a couple things that are sort of in production right now, but it's sort of all hands on deck. Love for people to come see more guns at Second City Hollywood. Stream Daddy Issues whenever your audience gets the chance.
Awesome. And where can people find you on social media?
It's on an Instagram, Andrew Pifko.
Fantastic. All right, Andrew, thank you so much for the call. Thank you for calling me back. Sorry about
you
that.
Bet.
But
no worries.
looking forward. All right.
All
Take
right.
care.
Thanks so much for your time. Bye-bye.
No problem.